So speaking of which, let's move into actual channel news. So here's where we're gonna get a little personal. This is some what we're changing here on the Cinefanatics channel.
Yep.
And the first thing I want to do is like we're gonna talk about stuff that we're adding and like stuff we're all on fire for. I think before we talk about what we're adding, we need to talk about what's being removed.
Yes, there is something being removed from the channel. Maybe some of you might be able to predict this. It is with heavy hearts that we are not going to be doing a show about or reacting to the Schmodown this season. Multiple reasons for that. There's going to be a lot of work behind it, and based on, say, like the analytics for how much it was getting viewed in terms of the other content that we're wanting to produce and do for this channel, it just wasn't hitting what we want it to be and what we need it to be for this channel. I know that a lot of people probably can understand some of the catalysts for what made this decision happen, but kind of leave it somewhat at that. It's not that we're not going to be talking about the Schmodown at all.
Oh, we're both like still major fans of the Schmodown.
Yeah, because keep in mind we're still going to be watching it. We're still going to be following absolutely everything because War has us so invested and so interested, but just the amount of what's coming for us and what we're wanting to do is going to have to take precedence over being able to produce that show and what that show has been able to do for our channel. So for this season, we will not be doing reaction videos, live or otherwise, for the Schmodown.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like with like a lot of the other channels, I mean, a lot of them are Schmodown related content. C2A, call to action, a certain point of view, let's get ready to talk Schmodown. There's a whole slew of new ones that are coming out, and there's probably going to be a whole bunch more that are going to be starting up this next year as well. This channel is not a Schmodown channel. Unlike those channels that I just mentioned, they're all Schmodown focused. They were started solely because of the Schmodown.
Yeah.
This is not a Schmodown channel. This is a movie channel.
And the Schmodown took the bulk of our content for 2020 because of how movies and everything went with like the pandemic and everything. So, realizing that there's ways that we can grow the channel, that we're going to have to grow the channel, that we need to grow the channel, that are going to be movie related content that we really want to dive into and talk about and grow with. And so we're going to be moving in that direction a little bit more this year than, say, talking about the Schmodown. That's not to say, like, I mean, maybe we pop up on someone else's show every now and then, depending on what's actually happening within the Schmodown that we can talk about. So obviously you'll know about that whenever it happens because social media is a thing and we like to promote stuff on social media. So there is that. But PC sent in a Streamlab on this. She said, will you be back? Tom and Liz interviews were fire. Yeah, I really enjoyed those interviews. Those were really good.
I love the Tom one is
And I would love to be able to have interviews like that again. As far as will we be back, at the very least, we're not going to be back this season.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of year ahead of us in 2021 for us to make any decisions later on down the road. But for now, this year will be sans a Schmodown show.
Yep.
So,
anyways.
Wanted to get the oh no negative kind of stuff out of the way first before we get into the positives of what is going to happen on this channel and the stuff that we are going to be doing.
So moving on to the positive side of this, kind of like what we said, unfortunately this whole past year, our content on this channel has been like a few like movie trailer reactions, a few reviews here and there, some random stuff that has happened like the buttholes video or something like that. Yeah, I know that was a weird time to like throw that reference in.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I want to see on this channel that I see a lot of other channels that talk about movie content do, and unfortunately we haven't done it in this past year. And I felt like here's the thing. In all honesty, I feel like we probably could have started doing it. We just didn't. And that's where I feel like it's hurt our channel just a bit.
There's good reasons why, and there's not good reasons why.
Yeah. But I want to see this growth on this channel. So the very first thing that we're going to be implementing very soon is ranking videos. Going into like, hey, top 10 Tom Cruise movies, or hey, rank the MCU movies as they come out. We're going to start implementing that on this channel. This is a channel, again, this is a channel about movies.
Yep.
Let's talk about movies. Let's make sure y'all know, hey, we like movies, we watch movies. Let's show off like how much we like talking about movies. Let's start ranking them.
Yeah.
I feel like I sound like Sean Chandler at this point because that's all he does is talk about movies way too much.
Yeah, exactly.
And ranking them. We're a fan of Sean Chandler. He's also here in Austin, and big props to him going to the Schmodown. But
yeah, so if you'll notice, maybe some of y'all watched our reviews for Soul and Wonder Woman 84. You'll notice that we are no longer flanked by just a picture of Joker behind us. We actually installed, is a nice proper word, an entire shelf filled with knickknacks and goodies and movies and whatnot. And
knickknacks and paddywhacks.
Knickknacks and paddywhacks. That is kind of the direction we're moving forward in. We're filling up the movie shelf behind us. We're going to be building out more or less the entire set over in that area, and I think you're going to end up doing pretty much everything from that area. It's going to start looking really good, and more like our living room is going to be pretty much just a complete studio at this point.
Just tell everyone that that's our living room.
Yeah.
What y'all don't realize is where we're sitting right now is our dining room.
Yeah, it's true. So that's what's going to end up happening. We're going to end up pumping out content on this channel that I believe is right up there with the type of content that most people look for when they're looking for movie-related content. It's the kind of content that we want to do. We want to talk about movies. You know, there's always the thing where someone asks you, what's your favorite this and that? We get to now share what our favorite this and that is. And we get to do so within the top 10 lists. On top of that, those lists will come complete with behind the scenes or extended content from it, because the way we're going to have to end up breaking it down essentially is we're going to be doing a top 10 list that the two of us kind of come together and agree upon. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everything on the list is going to be stuff that I actually feel about, because he's going to put horror movies on there that I'm probably not going to have on my list, and likewise I'm going to have some movies on my list that he wouldn't put on his list. That's where the Patreon comes into play. That's where you'll get to see kind of more of the extended stuff behind the scenes, like, okay, what would I have put on the list if the entire top 10 list was mine to create and to morph the way I want to. Curate, that's the word I was looking for. Same with you. There's going to be stuff on the Patreon that's kind of more relaxed, like, okay, well, this is also what I would have put on my list type stuff too. So that's going to be really good. We were talking before about what our first one coming out here pretty soon is.
Yes.
And I think that's we want to aim for it to be released next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow.
I'm thinking these are gonna be like fully produced shows, so it's not gonna be a live stream show. It's gonna be something that we film, and then I spend time editing and put together. I want some production quality behind it. I'm probably gonna start releasing these like on a Wednesday afternoon. Is when they'll be done and they'll go public. So that's where I'm kind of thinking, and I'm kind of I know our first one we're looking at, I'm gonna try to shoot for next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. I'm hoping for it to be our first one, and it's actually funny enough, our first one that we came up with is something that is pretty popular on Twitter right now, and that's ranking the streaming companies.
The streaming services and how they performed this entire last year.
Yeah, so we kind of want to stay on this track of talking about like what has happened in 2020 going on into 2021.
Yep.
Let's talk about how we would rank the streaming services because they've played very heavily in this past year, and I got some thoughts and opinions. I want to talk about them. We'll start moving into other things besides like streaming companies. We'll start talking about more and more in depth of movies, like a particular actor's filmography, or like I said, a franchise, like ranking the MCU or Star Wars or something.
I mean, I think these things can even get like even more detailed on, say like, we dive into the MCU, we rank our top 10 favorite MCU cosmic characters or what have you as we get prepared.
We could have a field day with this.
As we get prepared for, say, like the Eternals. Maybe that's something that we end up doing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be all sorts of stuff. Literally, we're busting out content calendars. We're going to start organizing this stuff and having things come out, when stuff is premiering. So hopefully we can start pulling in some eyes on this channel and getting that promotion out there. I see Movie Fanobi dropped a super chat. Happy New Year, Adams v. Adams Productions. Let's hope you can grow and earn some retirement Blu-ray cash. You've got a long road, young Adams. I hope I do.
Yeah,
I hope I got a long
hoping
road.
there's like some super like cool like type of movies, like it's expanded beyond Blu-ray quality by the time I retire.
Well, technically 4K is out right now, but
yeah. But I mean, we're gonna be like, it's time for 64K.
We'll see. I know it's right around the corner for you, but I've got a while.
Yeah, thanks. And then also going back, PC donated $5. Which movie bar would you like to walk into? For me, Rick's in Casablanca.
I really like that one. Which movie bar?
So I'm
Cantina in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. As long as you're not a droid, because they don't serve your kind there.
I'm not a droid.
Oh, fantastic!
I want some spotchka.
Then you can go. I'm kind of torn because there's the kid me and then there's the adult me. The adult me, let's go with the kid me first because the adult me makes all the sense in the world. The kid me wants to walk into Coyote Ugly. Like, that would be the bar I'd want to hang out and like.
The kid in you wants to walk into Coyote Ugly? Or the adult?
The 21-year-old in me wants to walk into.
The 13-year-old in you wants to walk into.
I mean, possibly, but you got to be 21 here in Texas to walk into one to begin with. And here's what's funny is we actually do have a Coyote Ugly here in Austin,
and they do serve water.
And they do serve you water.
Yeah.
But that would have been like, I remember when that movie came out. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to hang out at that bar. Like.
Yeah.
I mean,
young kids like, there's chicks dancing on the bar. I want to hang out there.
Yeah. I'll also disclaimer: I'm not a bar hop type of person. I don't necessarily like going to bars unless it's completely filled with schmodown competitors and friends, and that's where I want to go.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's always a fun time. The adult me, again, this is why it makes all the sense in the world. The adult me wants to go to the bar that's in The Shining. As long as the bartender and the alcohol is actually real, I want to go there because I'm the only one there. Just leave me alone. It's just me hanging out with the bartender, just personal conversations aside, and just let me lose my mind. That would be cool. Pour me a glass of whiskey, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that would be my bars that I'd want to go to. So yeah, there's this ranking show that's going to be coming.
So the other thing that's going to premiere was it next week also?
Is that everything for the ranking show? We're going to do the Patreon, so anything that's not in our ranks you might find in our Patreon. Oh,
that's at the $10 tier.
That's at the 10. Yeah, I would say let's touch upon that. It's at the $10 tier. So if you are at the $10 level, you will have access to those. And I briefly, like, we're talking about, like, there's other videos I want to do just for funsies to possibly throw out there. So if you're at the $10 tier, anything that's like exclusive videos, that's where it's going to pop up at. So $10 on up, you'll have access to those on Patreon. Extra
content, all of that stuff beyond just what the normal video is that premieres on YouTube is what you'll find at that $10 level on Patreon. So
Yeah. Cam Chef says A Clockwork Orange. That's a good one. With the milk Villa set. It's a milk bar that's the milk is filled with like kind of like a drug basically. It's alcoholic milk for all intents and purposes. I mean that's a good choice too. I'm not a big fan of milk, but
Let's get ready. Let's get ready, network. Let's get ready to talk Schmodown. Just showed up right after we made the announcement that we're not going to be talking Schmodown.
Yeah. That's Shug. What's up, Shug?
What's up, Shug?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. So yeah, just real quick, Shug's here. You'll have one less Schmodown reaction channel to be competing with next year.
That's true.
So that's the big news from this. So yeah, we're doing ranking shows that will. My plan right now is to have those every Wednesday. So,
Those are just to make clear. I know you already mentioned it, but those are not going to be live. Those are going to be edited, produced, and pumped out as normal content. So
yeah, we're going to be doing one a week. I know a lot of other channels crank out like ranking videos like constantly, but we're only 2 people and we got to work full-time jobs, so that's how they're going to be pumped out.
So if you're not signed up on the Patreon yet,
yeah. Shug's like, what? Yeah, nope, no more Schmodown reactions. That's it.
go back and replay this part of the video.
Oh, you said replay.
Wah, wah.
So the next thing of shows that we're going to be adding to this channel will be another live stream.
Yes, this one will be a live stream that we will be doing once a week as the streams happen, or as the content that we are watching happens. Some of y'all may have noticed recently there was a Disney investors meeting.
Yeah.
Not even a meeting, a Disney investors stream that was done a few weeks back, in which case they dropped the news that there's going to be a butt ton of Marvel and Disney or Star Wars shows.
You got to do it in the proper metric measurement, so it's a metric butt ton.
A metric butt ton.
There you go.
Of Star Wars and Marvel shows, starting with WandaVision, which I believe premieres next week. Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Yep.
We will be doing a live stream show every Friday while one of those shows is going, talking about and reviewing the current episode that will be happening. This is going to be a show that will actually have a name to it. I believe that we're looking towards naming this as its own actual show, in which case as we are a movie channel, any show that is produced that is based in a very popular movie universe of some sort, say the MCU, Star Wars, there's an Alien show that will be coming down the line, I believe, for FX. I know Cobra Kai is already out. We have to go back and probably catch up on those since we didn't jump on the Cobra Kai train.
Watch out, Vernon. We're talking about Cobra Kai.
Yeah, potentially. Not promising that one anytime soon because there's a lot to catch up on there still. Yeah. But this show will revolve around these shows that are produced that are based heavily within a film continuity universe. We will be doing reviews for those potential shows. So that means even, say, like The Mandalorian's next season, we'll be touching on that. All 10 Star Wars shows, all 10 Marvel shows.
Yep.
All of these will be touched on this live review show that we'll be doing every Friday. So
as of right now, it's Friday. I don't know like some of these like Star Wars and MCU are all being done by Disney Plus. I don't know if they're going to keep to a Friday schedule or if like at one point one of these shows might wind up unfortunately on a Tuesday night. As if that is to change, and as that changes, we will change accordingly if need be. But as of right now, specifically because we only have WandaVision to go off of, WandaVision starts next Friday. We will be doing a live stream next Friday night, roughly like the 9 p.m. Central Time, so 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. I'm planning for like no more than an hour. Let's just break down the episode. These are going to be spoiler episodes, so we are going to talk about the entire show, that episode. We're going to talk about it, have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be like, come hang out. they're going to be live streamed. They're probably also going to be, I'm thinking more of a StreamYard format, so that way we can bring in like the chat and stuff. So if you have your opinions, your thoughts, we can highlight them and be like, oh, I didn't think of that. That was a good point as well.
Yeah.
Or I didn't see that little Easter egg. That's kind of cool. Thank you for adding that to this chat.
Yeah, they'll at least start off in the StreamYard format for sure. Some of these may even include guests as we might get them. The format is open to having guests come on if there is a guest for that particular episode or that particular show that we want to bring on. But yeah, I know that at least next week, at least for sure, the two of us will be doing a review for the first episode of WandaVision. So that's how that's going to be. Malcolm says, are we going to do a Twilight TV series? Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Probably not going to do Twilight TV series necessarily. This probably still is more in line with like major, like I know like Twilight's popular for a lot of people, but major like popular series that are gonna be like talked about through all different demographics and interest us. So
basically, like, we're all a part of, like, I know most of, like, for right now, most of the community that we have here is a part of the Schmodown community as well. Everyone who's here watching this live stream right now are typically also fans of the Schmodown as well.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of that community does tend to hover around, like, the Star Wars, the MCU. I believe when this Alien show pops up on FX, we'll hear a lot of that. Same with like Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai is very popular in this community also. So that's why like we might need to catch up on Cobra Kai. I hear nothing but good things about it. I know there's a certain person in that show who's going to be a part of the Schmodown going into this next season.
Yeah.
We might need to catch up on this show just to stay informed. But yeah, so that's why it's going to stay primarily something that's around of the interests of this community. I don't hear a whole lot of people in this community really clamoring for a Twilight review. Just saying.
Hamstrakt said, hit me up if you guys need a guest for a To Catch a Predator reaction show.
Well, just come over here and have a seat. Just take a seat.
You just take a seat.
Just have a seat.
No, don't worry about it. Just have a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So those I'm eager to do. So as we get through like the MCU shows, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, all of these will start popping up as something that we're going to do reviews for. So we're no longer just Cinefanatics, but I mean, I feel like kind of like how we've talked about these shows on the tagline as well. They're kind of like cinema adjacent.
Yeah.
Especially a huge example is the MCU shows that now they've put those in such a place that you need to watch these MCU shows to be able to understand what's going to be happening next in the MCU. Like WandaVision has a direct connection to the next Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So therefore we might as well just watch it and talk about it as well. Mm-hmm. And we can also use these shows like as they talk about new things that are coming up. We might have like a bit like in a WandaVision episode at some point if they release more news about further MCU show news, we can briefly talk about that as well on those. So
I mean, it's a situation like as movies evolve and they turn into like TV series and expand into TV, so do the Cinefanatics and what they're reviewing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to that. I think that'll be a blast to have on this channel too. So.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, the other stuff adding to the channel. This one I don't have some of it I have an idea of what we're doing, but I don't necessarily want to talk about it yet. One of the things I like about other movie channels is a lot of these movie channels, and I hate to use the word gimmick.
The remainder of this announcement is announcing that we'll have another announcement.
Pretty soon. I hate the word gimmick, but I mean, YouTube is filled with like shows that have a very like come hither quality to it. For example, is it Screen Rant? Screen Rant has Pitch Meeting.
Yeah.
Screen Rant, typically their whole channel is all about ranking or like a little bit of like movie news, but the number one thing that really seems to be anchoring them down right now is the pitch meeting videos. And if you haven't watched pitch meeting, they're fantastic. I love pitch
Maybe
meeting.
need you to get all the way off our backs and go watch some of those.
Yeah, seriously. Well, let me hop off that thing and go watch those videos.
Yeah.
Should be super easy, barely an inconvenience. But that I want something like that for us. I want something that is going to cause people to come back and might provide a good chuckle or a little think or whatever. So that's what I'm developing, and I have an idea that could play pretty well in this in this realm of videos. So that's what I'm working on developing. I would call it like a little bit of a passion project right now.
Yeah.
So that's something that's going to be happening, and I'm going to be looking at cranking out the first one of these probably towards the end of this month. So that's what I'm shooting for. And then I know the other thing that we've talked about briefly, and we can go ahead and probably like talk about this. Even we need to hammer this out a little bit more, but going back and talking about or reviewing older movies.
Yeah.
I feel like that, again, that's something that we're a movie channel. We need to be able to talk about these older movies. As we figure out the format for that, we want to be able to bring that in as well.
The thing on that is that we call ourselves the Cinefanatics, but you would be very surprised to find out that there's a lot of like classics or a lot of like big movies that a lot of people have seen like back in the day that either both of us or just me have not yet seen. So I've been kind of reserving watching some of those until more of a time that we can turn around and maybe like shoot like actual honest reviews on those older movies from the basis and standpoint of me seeing them for like the first time. So for instance, say you just watched Singing in the Rain not too long ago. Mm-hmm. I don't believe I have seen Singing in the Rain at all.
Watch that.
And so that's going to be one of those things where I will turn around and watch it, and then boom, we're going to do a review for Singing in the Rain. So that's kind of stuff I'm eager to get into too, because that starts expanding the library of movies that I haven't seen, and starts opening up all sorts of fun and interesting stuff that we can do on the channel too. So as time permits, we may be doing more watch-alongs, some of them not on Patreon. Some watch-alongs will be Patreon exclusive, but others might actually happen on the channel, as we've done a couple of those before, just without the Patreon wall behind it. So we might do some more of those in the future too, as time permits.
And that's really a thing with it right now, is now we're starting to talk about like what time will allow us to do. I have like another couple of ideas of stuff I want to do, but right now I feel like we're putting enough on the plate right now. Let's see how this stuff does. If it performs well, if it's good content that we're able to crank out, and it starts working on this channel, we're seeing the numbers that we need to be seeing for it to proceed. I mean, this actually feels like a network TV thing. If we're not seeing the numbers, the show gets axed. So please help us. Show us the numbers.
Show me the numbers.
Yeah. If we're not seeing the numbers, then something gets axed and we create something else to replace it. I've got a couple of ideas. One I'm really interested in doing, like super interested in doing, if we have the ability, if time permits. So yeah, just that's in the back pocket. Just keep in mind, as far as growth for this channel, that's a lot of stuff is coming.